What's up, guys, and welcome to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. This is the second time I've tried to record this today, but I really want to show you this game. I'm having a little bit of issues with my my recorder. It's kind of freaking out. It's not recording at a constant frame rate, which honestly happens. So, if whenever you're watching this, my commentary seems a little off compared to what you're seeing, it's because the frame rate is being recorded variable on the game, whereas it's constant on my camera. I don't know why the game does that, but it doesn't. So this is Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. So what you get here is you get this map. Now you can't see my cursor because I forgot to turn the thing on so that the cursor would record, but oh well. So you get this here. You got the map there on one side. You got all the units there on the other. And so what you do is, well, what I like to do is I always like to pick my map. Now we're gonna stick with World of Thieves because I like this one. The water, I think, is what was giving me issues the last time around. So we're gonna be more down here in this field in the south. But here's what we're gonna do. You have all these different things that you can do, and we're going to have 250 dressers, which are up here. I don't want them up here. I want them down here. 250 dressers. And just to show you how absurd this game is, those 250 dressers are going to fight 250 tables. I have no idea who's going to win this, but considering how much larger the dressers are than the tables, I'm going to guess that they will. Now, you can adjust how many units you have, what team they're fighting on, whether they're attacking or just holding position, and how their ranks are shaped. The ranks, I don't know what the formula is that decides how it's shaped, but what I do know is if I change it to a 1, it's supposed to make them more square. So like you see the tables are more squared than the dressers are, and they have a rank shape of 1. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have the dressers fight the tables, and that's just what we're gonna start with. This is what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with something completely absurd, and we're gonna move into something a little bit more realistic. And I say realistic; it's nowhere near realistic, but that's what we're gonna be aiming for. So like you saw there on the loading screen, there was a whole bunch of Romans versus zombies. And okay, so what do we got here? We got 250 dressers versus 250 tables. They're just sitting out here. Now, when you hit K, yes, they actually fight. But the thing is, like, let's see if I can get in here so you can hear them. You can hear them attacking, but you can't really see anything happening because they're just dressers and tables. But you can see that they are damaging each other. It looks like, who's winning right now? It's about even, actually. The dressers pulled ahead. But, well, ooh, dressers are staying ahead now. So, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what this game is about. It's pitting two armies against each other to battle, and somehow what should be a fairly, and it actually is staying fairly even. Well, as I say that, like, everything just kind of dips into nonsense. So, okay, I don't really know how this is gonna pan out. It looks like the dressers are gonna win. If we're being honest with ourselves, it looks like the dressers are gonna win. It's staying about even. About every 25 units, they seem to even out, and then the dressers pull way ahead again. So I don't really know. Maybe no, actually, it's closer to every 20 units is where they even out, but then the dressers pull ahead again. So it could go either way. We still have another 100 units to go through, though. It may come down to like 1 or 2 tables and 1 or 2 dressers fighting each other. So, because you can see it's slowing down, like the death rate is slowing down. Wow. It's so ridiculous. The tables and dressers are fighting each other. And there. Ooh, dressers have pulled. Dressers have pulled ahead. And then they evened out again. I don't get it. Like they pull like nearly 20 units ahead, and then it all evens out. It just makes no sense. Cause like they're way ahead right now. They're over 10 ahead. And if it evens out at this point, then I don't really know what the hell's going on. It shouldn't, though. It should be 100% the dressers should win this. Yeah, it looks like the dressers have got it. So, I don't know whether or not what you're seeing. I don't know if it's already over for you. I'm still seeing them fight. I'm hoping that it's recording correctly. I have been having a few issues with that where it decides it's going to record variable instead of constant. And when it records variable, I have to re-record everything again. But one table, and the dressers are victorious with 18 units remaining. So that's really cool. That's okay. That's just the basic premise. And I showed you the most absurd thing that I could to begin with, just because I thought that would be funny. But now we're gonna get a little bit more serious. Now we're gonna so clear off everybody. You know what? We'll leave it with World of Thieves. But now we're gonna go medieval. We're gonna go medieval, and we're gonna go with the heavy knights. We're gonna put 250 heavy knights down. I could put more than that, but these battles take forever. Whenever you start putting down like thousands of them, I can get it so that like I have like 50,000 units on the screen at once. Surprisingly enough, my graphics card can handle that. But the battles just drag on for fuck ever. So I try not to do that as much as I can. So we're gonna go with 250 heavy knights, and we're gonna put them up against. I calculated out. We're gonna put them up against 400 orcs. Now, you might be thinking that I'm doing this because I favor orcs. That's not entirely true. The issue here is the orcs do not have shields. Orcs don't have shields. So the problem that you're running into is they don't really have a defense, whereas the heavy knights do have defense. So I'm putting it, I think this is going to be a little evenly matched. It might be swayed a little more for the orcs. And in all honesty, with sometimes how I've watched this go, it has actually swayed in favor of the heavy knights by far, because their block percentage is just astronomical. It's not as bad as what the Spartans have, but it's still pretty damn high. So here we are, 400 orcs versus 250 heavy knights. Little cinematic here, come on. Come on. Show me the armies. There they are. 250 knights, 400 orcs. And now you see, is it going to show it? It's not really going to show it. You can kind of see whenever it goes on this angle that the heavy knights have those shields. And can you show me the orcs? Show me the orcs. Oh, you're just gonna hover around the heavy knights? Okay. Can you? Okay, alright. So yeah, you see the heavy knights have these shields, but then you come over here to the orcs, and nothing. They just got their they've just got their swords, no shields. That's why I actually balanced it out. They have similar health, they do similar damage. They are not evenly matched. They do similar damage, they have similar health, but the biggest thing is the heavy knights have, I want to say it's like a 40% chance to block. So because of that, you actually have to stack heavier for orcs than you do for anything else. Now, I want to do some like huge, large-scale battles. So you see this going on. So you have the heavy knights, you have the orcs, you have giant ogres, you have dwarves, you have archers, you have footmen, which are similar to the heavy knights. They're a lot squishier. They don't do as much damage. You have Golden Knights, who are ridiculously overpowered in as far as the medieval characters are set to go. But what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to build like this huge epic battle, because I can put thousands of units on screen at one time. And how are we doing? We're about even right now. We're about even on deaths. The Heavy Knights have killed more orcs. Not many more though, so they may have fixed the imbalance that the orcs originally had. So that was one thing that I didn't mention. I have played this a little bit, like whenever I'm waiting for something to render or export, whenever I'm doing my editing, I'll hop into this and I'll just do a little bit of simple fighting, just to waste some time. And it ended up being that the Heavy Knights, when the game first came out, the Heavy Knights and the orcs completely evenly matched. Then they rejiggered the system a little bit, and the Heavy Knights were way overpowered compared to the orcs, because they had that high block chance. But now it looks like they may have balanced it out. They may have actually gone back in, because they've updated a lot of times since the last time I looked at this. They may have gone back in and rebalanced the Heavy Knights so that despite their block, they're matched with the orcs. So take that into consideration whenever I want to see down in the comments. I want to make a big epic battle of like having like the orcs storm the castle that's up on the hill, and I'll show you that here in a second. Whenever all the Heavy Knights are dead, I didn't realize it was going to be this unbalanced. 250 Heavy Knights. They killed right at 250 orcs. Or they killed over 250 orcs. No, they killed just under 200 orcs. Yeah, they killed just under 200 orcs. But there were more orcs than there were heavies, so they had a distinct advantage because you did see them surrounding around. So it looks like they did in fact balance it out. But if you'll come over here with me, you'll see like we have this big lead up. So you can place like a massive army out there that then will run down and cross this ocean, or cross the lake, which is only like ankle deep, so it's not really that big a deal. But they'll like cross the lake and they can storm the castle, and do that. So you can have like an army put in here, have a couple of flanking archers over here, another army in here, and then set them to come from that side to come up. Or even one thing that I kind of like that this map has, there's a bridge on this side. So it's like you can position everything to be coming over this bridge, but then they have to go around the castle to actually invade it. I want to do a big epic battle for you guys that has like a huge, massive army of orcs, something like 10,000 orcs, and have a bunch of heavies down here to meet them before they go over the bridge, and have some archers stationed, like maybe flanking either side of the castle, that are shooting in at the orcs as they're coming in. Have some more heavies inside the actual castle here. Have a little battalion of heavies in there. Maybe something else down there with a couple of flanking archers. Now, granted, okay, and I have to specify, I'm gonna make it one massive army of orcs. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have one just gigantic horde of orcs over here. Like 5 to 10,000. I'm not sure how many I want to do, because whenever you plant them down, like whenever there's like drop-offs on the rocks and the trees and all that kind of stuff, a few of them just disappear straight off the bat. So I want to have just a massive army. So what do you think? Because I can have up to 8 different units, and I say different units. I can have up to 8 different little regiments on the board at once. So for one team, it's going to be nothing but orcs. I mean, nothing but a huge group of orcs that are going to be storming down. For the other team, there are 7 open positions. There are 7 open positions, and I want you to fill in what you think those 7 positions should be. So let's hop over to the menu screen here, where you can select all of that. So you come in here, and let's say Team 1 is going to be orcs. We're going to put, let's say, 10, 10,000 orcs. We'll put them in formation 1. Grab them. So you have the orcish horde that's there. That's where they're going to position. That's where they're going to run in from, and they're going to take this castle. They're going to murder everyone that's there, and they're going to murder everyone. There's no way to make them not kill everyone. So you have 10,000 orcs there. You now have, for Team 2, 7 positions to fill. We're going to fill in all 7 of these, and we're going to try to do this the best way that we can. But you cannot have as many forces fighting against the orcs as you have orcs. That's the only stipulation. You have 10,000 orcs that you're working with. You can max out at 9,000 opposing forces. That's it. So we're going to fill the rest in total. And now, if you come in here to medieval, I'll show you what you've got. We've got footmen, archers, cavalry, catapults, spearmen, and that's it just in your medieval. If you come over here to fantasy, you also have dwarves. You have giant ogres. We're not going to use the giant ogres. So we're going to do the orcs. You can pick the dwarves, the heavies, the footmen, the archers, whatever. Those are the options that we have. If you need it, here, I'll pull up again for you if you want to see it. These are the heavy knights, footmen, archer, cavalry, catapult, spearmen. These are the forces that we have to work with, and we need to position them in such a way that that they're going to be able to take out those orcs. And mind you, we're not putting down 9,000 heavies. I want to space them out. I want to use as much variety as possible in doing this. One other thing that we can have is the Golden Knight, which for some reason isn't in medieval, but the Golden Knight, we can have 1 Golden Knight. And the reason I say we can have 1 Golden Knight is because if you come in here to unit customization, this is the Footman, 200 health, 33 damage, with 30% chance to block. That's the Footman. But if you come down and you look at the Orc, 500 health, 72 damage, 0% chance to block. That's how the Orc is set up. So he's a lot more powerful than a Footman is. But whenever you pile more Footmen on him, they can definitely win. But the Golden Knight, if I can find him, he's probably down. Nope, he's not down there. Where the hell is he? You're not gonna let me see him, are you? Or do I need? Nope, there's nothing. What the fuck? There's no Golden Knights. Alright, well, I thought he was in the game. I guess he's not anymore. Okay, but we also have Spartans here, which we're not going to use the Spartans because 98% chance to block is absolute total bullshit. And they also have a higher range than everyone else. They're a really overpowered unit. They are designed to face odds way higher than them. But they're ridiculous. Okay, but there's also the Wild Man, who somehow has a chance to block despite not having a shield, who has some pretty intense health. We can have them fighting against the orcs as well if you want. We've also got the Romans, who can go in and fight against them as well. 90% chance to block. I'm going to limit them that if you decide you want to have Romans in there, I'm going to put a limitation of 500 Romans. Because 90% chance to block means that they almost never get hit, and that's just bullshit. But that's what I want to see. 7 slots. You let me know in the comments what you want to fill those slots with. I'll place them somewhere on the board to fight against the orcs, and we'll have one huge epic battle in our next episode. So for now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this game in the comments down below. Let me know what you want to see fighting against 10,000 orcs. Remember, 9,000 is your limit. So, 9,000 units. Tell me what units you want, how many of them you want, and we'll see you next time.